Have you ever had small pieces fall into your table saw slot? Well, today I'm solving that problem by making a zero clearance insert. The first step is removing the existing insert. Mine has felt washers to keep things snug, so be careful not to lose those if yours has them too. For this project, I'll use a piece of hardwood from an old drawer and this piece of cedar fence. I'm tracing the outline of the original insert onto the hardwood to get the approximate size I need to cut, but after checking the cedar board, it's cupped in the middle and not flat. So I'll pass on this and find something else. Now I'll clamp the hardwood to my table and use my handsaw cutting guide, link in the description, to cut it down to size. I've heard many people say to use hardwood for this project, but I'm going to make one out of a softer wood to see how it holds up over time. It doesn't seem to me that it'll be getting much abuse, but we'll see. Instead of this piece of cedar, I'll use this 1x6 pine board. It's flat, so I'll trace and cut it the same way as the hardwood. Both pieces are still too thick, so I'll need to plane them down. Let's measure the existing insert first. Including the washers, the metal insert is about 0.3 inches thick. I'll run both boards through the planer until they're around 0.35 inches thick. Using painter's tape and super glue, I'll attach the metal insert to the pine to use it as a template for routing. Next, I'll use the scroll saw to trim the edges of the pine to about 1/8 of an inch from the metal insert, which will make it easier to route. Using a flush trim bit, the bearing on the bit will follow the edge of the metal insert, trimming the wood to exactly the same size. Next, I'll choose a drill bit that fits the screw holes on the metal insert and drill through the wood to make sure the holes are perfectly aligned. I'll trace the blade slot onto the wood while the metal insert is still attached. This will help me identify the top side of the insert so I know which side needs the countersink on the hole. Now I'll peel off the metal insert and drill countersink holes into the pine where I made the screw holes. Let's test the fit. It's a perfect fit around the edges thanks to the router. I'll screw the pine insert in place. It's still a little thick, but I'll fix that after cutting the blade slot. With the insert secure, I'll turn on the saw and raise the blade to cut the slot through the pine. I followed the same process with the hardwood, routing around the edge and then cutting the slot. Now I'll go back and forth between the planer and the table saw, planing off small amounts until the inserts are flush with the top of the table. After that, a little sanding with 220 grit sandpaper will ensure the inserts are smooth and perfectly flush with the table. I'll reinstall the inserts and check that the screws are flush or just below the surface thanks to the countersink holes. Let's test the inserts by cutting some thin strips of wood. First, an 1/8 inch strip. Perfect, it doesn't fall into the slot. Now for an even smaller 1/16 inch strip. Still perfect. Both inserts are now complete and ready to go. Whether you use hardwood or even a piece of fence board, a zero clearance insert is a simple upgrade that can make a big difference in the quality and safety of your cuts. One thing to keep in mind is that you can't tilt your saw blade with this insert in place, and will have to reinstall the original insert in order to use that feature on your saw, so don't throw it away or misplace it. I'll be testing the durability of the pine over time, but for now both the hardwood and pine work great. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more DIY woodworking projects. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.